Hello everyone and welcome back to Deathtrap Dungeon. When we last left off, we just made a friend, a barbarian nonetheless, and if you recall our previous adventures, you will be surprised that we made friends with a barbarian. Previously, all of them engaged us and attacked us on sight for some reason, but Throm seems to be a nice guy, straightforward guy, absolutely. So we trust him. Anyway, we're in this test of this weird dwarf trial master, and it's stated to be we are about to face the third and final test of his. We get to decide whether we want to fight a scorpion or a minotaur, and obviously we want to fight a minotaur. Scorpion can have nasty surprises, and the minotaur is tough, yes, but it's not that lethal. And we get to fight it in this lame arena of death, which is a very stupid name if you ask me. Alright, so we are going to choose the Minotaur, and it's there because I previously entered it. So let's see how we fare against it. We call out to the dwarf that we are ready to fight the Minotaur. The wooden door rises slowly, and we see the fearsome beast, half man, half bull, stepping into the arena. Steam blows from its nostrils as it works itself up into a rage ready to attack. Suddenly it rushes forward, swinging its double-headed axe. Alright, let's see its stats. And it has a stamina and skill both of 9, so we outscale it by 2. So it's still quite formidable. We are going to use up our luck rolls here heavily. I plan to drink our potion of fortune after this battle, after finishing all the tests, and thereby raising it up to 14. So we don't need to spare on this. We want to keep our stamina as much intact as possible. So the first hit lands, and the first luck roll succeeds again. If we fail a luck roll, by the way, that means nothing, because then that means that the Minotaur would suffer 1 less damage, and that would not change the number of times we would have to hit it, so it's kind of safe to use our luck rolls like this. So far so good. Let's see if we land the final blow, and we do. We didn't even touch us. We have bested this fearsome creature. Alright? The dwarf calls down from the balcony, congratulating us on our victory. He throws a sack down into the arena and tells us to relax and regain our strength for the final part of the test. I thought this was the final part of the test. He's a liar. Then he walks off, saying he will return in about 10 minutes. We open the sack and find a jug of water and a cooked chicken. Alright, before we do absolutely anything else, we consume our potion of fortune, the last consumable item we have, thereby bringing up our luck stat to 14, which is excellent. The next 3 luck rolls are guaranteed to succeed. So that's great. Now we get to choose to consume the dwarf's offerings or ignore them. It would be a very lame way to dispose of us like this, so let's eat it. I'm pretty sure it's not poisoned. Maybe it's not gonna do us any good, but you know, with 12 stamina points we cannot really be picky. The food and drink are excellent, and we feel much better. We gain 2 stamina points. Awesome. Fully satisfied, we sit down and await the dwarf's return. Alright? That's actually okay-ish. We are back to 14 stamina points, and the other stats are quite okay, so I don't mind that. Let's see what else this irritating creature has up its sleeve. After about 20 minutes, the dwarf reappears on the balcony. He calls down to us saying, "Well, I do have an interesting problem on my hands. Prepare to fight your next opponent." The wooden door rises once again, and we are surprised to see a familiar face. It is Throm. What? How? He is cut and badly bruised and doesn't seem to recognize us. He is clearly delirious as he staggers forward with his axe raised to attack us. The dwarf laughs and says, "The cobra bit him, haha, but he has the strength of an ox and managed to carry on, even though most men would have died." Now you must fight him to decide finally which of you will continue the trial of champions. Okay, so this dwarf is a liar, wicked and evil to the core. I hate his guts. We shout abuse at the dwarf, protesting against the cruelty of such a contest. That's right, and it's also kind of stupid. They could have just dealt with us like that, you know, make us fight each other before we enter the dungeon. This is really pointlessly cruel. He merely laughs, and we have no option but to defend ourselves against poor Throm. Alright? Despite his wounds, Throm is immensely strong. And he sure is. Wow, he has 12 stamina and 10 skill points. We are barely better than him. We definitely need to use up some luck rolls here. Let's hope this fight goes well. Poor Throm. And the worst part is that we don't want to do this. We don't want to fight him. So, yeah. Alright, one final... no, he hit us. That was kind of to be expected. And let's use up our final luck roll. And we won. Somehow we managed to defeat him. We have 12 stamina points left. This is kind of okay-ish. Poor Throm, even in this badly beaten state, he was quite a challenge. The biggest challenge we have faced so far, I would argue. Exhausted by our long duel, we fall to our knees. As we stare at Throm's still body, a bitter loathing for the dwarf fills our heart. Somehow we will avenge Throm. That we swear. Engulfed in our hatred, we do not notice that the dwarf entered the arena until he is standing right in front of us, a loaded crossbow aimed at our chest. "I know what you are thinking," he says calmly, "but remember that only I know the way out of here. Get up. It is time for you to leave." Once on our feet, the dwarf indicates that we should walk ahead of him. Back in the chamber, he crosses over to the northern wall and pushes against one of its stones. A door-like section of the wall swings out, opening into yet another crystal-lit tunnel. With his crossbow still aimed at our chest, the dwarf smiles, saying, "Good luck." Alright, we have managed to pass all of his evil tests, and we could leave. However, we have sworn to avenge Throm, and once we do, I don't see a way that we can do this. So let's take a punch at the dwarf. At the very least, let's show him what we think about him. The dwarf is expecting our move. Furthermore, we are not as fast as we should be because of our recent ordeal, so he easily evades our punch, saying, "I could kill you now, if I wished, but I yearn for a hand-to-hand fight." Then he throws down his crossbow and draws an axe from his belt. Despite our fatigue, we think only of vengeance. Alright? During each attack round, well, basically in this battle, our skill is reduced by 2. So let's see if we have any chance of beating him. Well, we still out-skill him by 1 point. So 9 to 8. And we only need to land 3 blows. I'm tempted to try another luck roll here. Yep, we're gonna do that. It should succeed. And hopefully one final blow lands, and it does. And he's down. At least he wasn't very resilient. The dwarf's chainmail coat is of the finest quality iron, obviously made by a master armorer. We strip it from his body and place it over our head. We gain 1 skill point. There is nothing else of use to us in this chamber, so we decide to investigate the new tunnel. Alright, so what that means is that our skill stat at this moment is at 12. We automatically pass all skill checks, or skill attribute checks, and we only suffered 2. Well, basically our stamina level is at 12, where we started out when we entered this arena, so we got 2 points and we lost 2 points. I think that's great. Only Throm managed to land a blow on us. Everything else we dispatched off without any issues whatsoever. And our stats are looking okay-ish. Maybe our luck could be a tiny bit higher, but hopefully we managed to restore it at least partially. And let's see how far we should be getting close to the end, so let's proceed. The tunnel soon divides into two. We hear a buzzing sound coming from the western branch, and we could go north or west, and I think this is a decision we need to make the next time, because I'm going to make the cut of the video right here. It was quite an ordeal, as it was stated. We have had 3 difficult fights, which we succeeded in extremely well, luckily. But now it's time to really catch our breath, mourn at the loss of our poor comrade Throm, and reflect on all that's happened, and also to rejoice in the fact that we got our brand new chainmail coat. So I'm going to continue from here the next time. I thank you all for watching, and I hope you'll join me for that next time as well. Bye bye.